Hello everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to sorry about that for the noise. Welcome to the Nimeki Symposium. It's another exciting time to have professional interactions, and we're looking forward to having an exciting time with the array of guest speakers and also the leadership of Nimeki. Thank you for putting out time to attend this meeting, and before long, we'll start already in a few moments. In a few moments, we'll commence the meeting. In the next 2 minutes at 11:05, we'll commence the meeting. So I would encourage all of us to share our links, share the links of this meeting to the various WhatsApp group, Telegram, and Facebook, wherever you have the engineering community. So one or two persons can join along to learning about the digital world and how we can manage the engineering profession moving forward with development, conception of ideas, management of resources, and exploring the various value chain of digital enterprise. Thank you very much once again. I would just wait a few more minutes and then would commence. Great. So while we are doing that, I think I would enjoy us to make remarks on where we are connecting from. It is a national conference, so we're not all seated in one place attending this meeting. So we'll do a quick roll call where everybody is going to share where they are communicating from. I'm Honor Samuel Adakole. I am moderating this program. I'm connecting from Abuja, Nigeria. So I would love for us to do likewise. So Chine Miriam, where are you connecting from? Okay. Hello, Mr. David. Mr. David Echendu, where are you connecting from?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm David Ochind. I'm connecting from Bayelsa State.
Thank you very much. Bayelsa State. Yes. Daniel Owolabi, where are you connecting from, please?
Yeah, good morning. I'm connecting from Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much. Dr. Ugochi Ibom, where are you connecting from, ma'am?
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm connecting from Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Udo Kalu, where are you connecting from, please? Hello, Mr. Udo Kalu.
Good morning, everyone. I'm connecting from Port Harcourt, Rivers State.
Port Harcourt, thank you. Yes, if we don't mind adding our profession, our place of work or something. Yes, thank you very much for connecting. Mr. Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim. Nasiruddin.
Yeah, good morning. I'm connecting from Lagos State, Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have an ample number of persons from Lagos State connecting with us. Mr. Samuel Etim Akpan.
Yes. Good morning. I'm connecting from Akwa Ibom State.
Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Akwa Ibom is a beautiful city. Yeah. Who is John Urua? Hello. Hello, John Urua.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm connecting from Uyo in Akwa Ibom State.
Uyo, thank you very much. Yeah. It's the Livingstone Jumbo. Where are you connecting from? Hello, Mr. Livingstone, where are you connecting from?
Oh, good morning, colleagues. I'm connecting from Port Harcourt in Rivers State.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor Bonigon. Mr. Victor, where are you joining us from?
Victor Bonegun.
Okay, Bonigon.
A journalist with The Guardian.
Oh, very well. It's amazing having you on here. Looking forward to your editorial.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. And Mr. Promise, where are you joining us from?
Good morning, everyone. Promise Okoye, joining from Delta State.
Delta State. Thank you very much, Mr. Promise. Thank you very much. So it's right about time we'll start. I would quickly share with us the rundown of the program so that we can run down the program already, so we can share in anticipation of the various activities that we will be indulging in. So here we go. Yes, so this is a symposium organized by the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers to bring a host of big players in the industry and people who are actively engaged in the digital paradigm of the new age and Industry 4.0, moving with connectivity of systems and the digital world, so we can have an active conversation on what it means to manage the engineering profession in the rapidly changing world. The world is evolving. Every single thing has a component of connectivity, component of digitalization, and turning the entire globe into a village, into a singular, smaller community of human interaction. And as such, it is important that engineers really understand what this means in positioning, what it means to position them to actively maximize their potential, maximize their skills, maximize the output, their inputs into the evolving world, and also see a greater impact on the national economy and the entire value chain of this industry in the globe. And as such, we're starting already by welcoming people. Moving forward, we'll observe the national anthem as an opening prayer. We'll have an introduction from the national chairman and a brief remark from the national chairman. The special guest of honor in anticipation is going to speak to us, and we'll move forward to having the keynote address. And thereafter, in a few moments, we would have the National Students Committee chairman to speak with the audience, and the series of lectures would commence, and then the symposium, interactions, drawing contributions, comments, and questions from everybody who have so participated in this wondrous transfer of knowledge and bring in engagement. And thereafter, we hope to close sooner than the stipulated time at 1:20 p.m. We should be done with this engagement so we can all return to our various endeavors. Thank you very much once again. At this moment, I'd like for all of us to mute our audio. Yeah, let's mute our audio. And in a brief moment, I would invite Engineer Utme Akpan to help share an audio file of the NIMEC national anthem. But before then, we would like to take the national anthem, first stanza of the Nigerian national anthem. While he activates that, the first stanza of the Nigerian national anthem. Okay. Hello.
The best of the best is me, Mackie. Among all engineering, we are developing technology. What commitment, practice, and focus is a watchword. Mechanical engineering, the better for all engineering. Always leading the field of progressive discovery. Together we shall build Nigeria. The best of the best is the making among all engineering. We are developing technology. What commitment, practice, and focus is a watchword. Mechanical engineering, the bedrock for all engineering. Always leading the field of progressive discovery. Together we shall build Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ukemi Akpan, Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, mechanical engineering has for so long assumed its position as the mother of all engineering, which we as a bedrock of engineers, and one may be surprised to find out that we had a conversation, a symposium on digital technology. As a mother of engineering, it's very essential that we stay ahead of the paradigm and understand our role in the foundations of engineering and ensuring that we carry every engineer along from steel to networking and building algorithms wheresoever necessary. But that the mechanical engineer is quite versatile, and it is on this occasion that we have organized this symposium. Draw everybody from every endeavor, those in materials, those in energy, those in production, design, those in mechatronics, whatsoever automation, whatsoever your endeavor is, as long as you're an engineer and a mechanical engineer at is an element of connectivity and digital technology involved in your sphere of endeavor as we speak. And it is essential to have a grasp of these technologies. Very much. So I would like to invite the national chairman, which is the first person of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, to speak with us and give us her opening brief. Thank you very much, ma'am. Engineer Mrs. Fumilade Akingbagong.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. The immediate past president for the Council of Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, FNSC, FNI Mekefe Yankee, MFR. The keynote speaker for this morning, Engineer Mrs. Valerie Agbiragba, FNSC, senior mechanical engineer here present this morning, National Student Forum, and all guest speaker all the way from UK, Engineer Yetunde Ogedengbe, Professor Professor Harrison and Professor Shegun Ilori. We appreciate all of you for coming on board this morning. This annual student symposium commenced last year when we started to put our programs together, our mentorship program, our role model program, and our industry academic pilot program, which is meant to build the gap between the classroom and the industry. There is a huge gap between the classroom and the industry, and I want to sincerely appreciate Corin for putting together the outcome-based education for our young engineers so that we'll begin to, they will be absorbed directly by the industry as soon as they graduate from the various tertiary institutions. And I want to also appreciate especially engineer Ali Rabiu, FNSC, for making that possible for the student to begin to enjoy the curriculum that will be able to accommodate their skill acquisition and are ready for the industry acquisition and also the employability program for our young engineers. I want to say this morning that this program is an opportunity for our young engineers and our senior engineers to have affiliations with other organizations outside the country and for them to be able to fit into the society of engineering itself as they progress in their career. In the last 1 year, we have been able to have partnership with various industries. We have partnership with the MacAlpha Incorporated in Canada that will be training our engineers in Nigeria on soft skills and also in the area of oil and gas. Presently, we have partnership with JMG, Power and HVAC section, where we will be having trainings on HVAC, training on cooling system, and we already have a candidate that is coming off on cooling system and refrigeration.
Hello, ma'am. Please, you're muted. If you don't mind turning on your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. A call came in while I was speaking. We have various programs that are targeted at having a global village. The world has become a global village. EI has taken precedence. Technology is evolving every day, and we as engineers need to be able to move up with the technology that is evolving every day. So on that note, I welcome each and every one of us to this global platform where we have speakers across the whole world that will be speaking to us this morning. I welcome you all to the symposium for this year. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. The very brief remark, which essentially elaborates the objectives of this engagement and how from its inspiration through various implementation and the future of these projects. Thank you for having the students at heart. This is an activity that is going to last through time, as we have young engineers who are going to grow into potential experts in their various endeavors. Thank you for looking out to this generation of learners, practitioners, and industry leaders. Thank you very much. I would like to also appreciate the presence of our guest speaker, Engineer Ali Rabiu, FNSC, FNICE, the immediate past chairman of the Council of the Regulation of Engineers in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. So, ladies and gentlemen, the number of persons that have joined the meeting has grown, and we would kick up with light speed already. Without further ado, I'd like for us to hear from our very special guest of honor, speak to us, Engineer Rabiu Ali, FNSC, FNICE. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning, sir.
I thought I was
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Going to listen to before I make my remark. The same as I've been invited. I'll go ahead to say one or two things. Let me start by appreciating the leadership of the Nigerian engineers, led by our very delectable, very able engineer, Fumi Akimba Bohu. And I must say that I'm very impressed with the performance of the institution over the last couple of years, particularly since coming into office of the national chairman. Let me appreciate the institution also for putting together this lecture series. And the theme of this year's lecture couldn't have been more apt. Managing engineering profession in digital world, developing and exploring value chain. And the keynote speaker, Nevala, is very well chosen. Had a stint in managing engineering profession in the last couple of years. I must also want to say that this program will indeed create an avenue for a prosperous engineering practice benefit for members of not only the institution, but of engineers at large. My brief sojourn in Korea has given me an insight on how to indeed create such prosperous practice benefit. And the Korean Act, as amended, indeed has a lot of opportunities and benefits for engineering practitioners. But I discovered over time that the opportunities presented by this act of the practitioner's lack of requisite skills, employment and career progression. So current is a regulator, like we very well know. And as such, it cannot directly handle training activities. So as president of Current, we got the institutions, particularly the NSC, NATE, NICET, and NIEC, and of course, institutions like NIMEC-E and other divisions of the NSC to handle this aspect of training as part of their core mandate, to create or evolve training models for their members in order to deliver improved engineering services. I have also over time realized that our practitioners, outside their technical and project management skills, they lack soft skills like communication, team building, and management, adaptation, and of course, innovation skills. Since today's discussion by NIMEC-E is about managing engineering profession, I want to suggest that we should dwell on conflict resolution and collaboration. Ultimately, we must also note that engineers are accountable for delivering results. We need to maintain a focus on outcomes and drive our teams to achieve the goals that we set for any stage of the value chain. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate participants at this symposium and wish us a prosperous application of the knowledge that we would gain after this exercise. I'm indeed very happy to be here. And I want to thank once again everyone. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing with us such insights on how intentional Koren has been in influencing capacity development and professional expertise and regulating the activities of engineering in Nigeria. Thank you, Engineer Aliyu Rabiu, FNSC, FNIs, the immediate past president of Koren, the Council of Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. It is an honor to have you join us in this symposium.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, and then moving forward, I would love for us to give attention to the keynote speaker who will be sharing with us the keynote speaker, Engineer Mrs. Valerie Agberba. She's going to be sharing the theme, Managing Engineering Profession in a Digital World, developing and exploring the various modalities. But love for us give attention, mute our audio as we have her speak with us. But before then, I would love for us to know her, and I would be reading out her biography for us just a moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Valerie Agberba is a 1989 graduate of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. She has worked as a quality control engineer at the Federal Capital Development Authority, CDA, working from 1990 to 2010, where she has been part of the supervising team for many monumental projects like the Federal Secretariat Plots 8 and 3, the Phase 1, 2, and 3 of the National Assembly. She was seconded to the Presidential Task Force on Power as head of institutional continuity, finance and administration in June 2010. She is the first African woman vice president and chair of the Committee of Women in Engineering of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. That's from 2016 to 2019. She has also served in the same capacity for the Federation of African Engineers Engineering Organization, FAEO. She also served as the vice president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers from 2011 to 2013, to 2013. She's the recipient of a number of prolific awards and even filed in the Global Women Engineering Leaders, the second edition. And she's the founder and executive director of a mentoring organization, Science, Engineering, and Technology Network, SciETech. In addition to all of this that she has done, she has worked continuously to advocate gender balance and mentoring in the workplace. And he has been passionate about building the next generation of scientists. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome our very admirable, remarkable keynote speaker, Engineer Valerie Agberba, FNSC, the General Manager, Renewable Energy, NDPHC. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Can you hear me? I want to be sure that I can be heard.
Loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to start by saying, let me say good morning to everybody. It's good to have all of you in this platform. And my appreciation goes to the leadership of the NIMEKI for putting up such a program in the past 2 years to reposition young engineering graduates for the industry. Just like you read in my citation, this is one very area that I'm concerned, building the next generation. And if engineering is the future, and if engineers are the future, we must be ready to build the next generation. And so kudos to Nimeki for a good job, and I hope that this will continue and not just be within a period of time and then it goes off. So once again, thank you very much, everyone, and good morning. I'm not the main presenter, I'm just a keynote speaker, so I'm just going to be taking us through some of the issues we need to look at while we're having this presentation. I did send my slide this morning, and I said somebody should please have it on the screen because I'm using the phone that I'm not going to be having my paper there. So I don't know if somebody's having my slide. Thank you very much, that's good. Yeah, they've already said who I am, and it's my pleasure to be here. I would just like whoever is managing this slide to please go with me as I speak. I really don't like saying next slide, so please just pay attention to it, and as I speak, you just move to the next slide. I'm just going to be telling us briefly about the theme of this presentation, which is managing engineering profession in a digital world, developing and exploring the value chain. So as a keynote speaker, I'm just going to highlight some of the things you need to take into consideration, look at them and know that these things are vital for us. So we'll be looking at engineering as a profession, the digital world, the emanating issues from the digital world, and going forward, what should we do as engineers? As engineers, we know that engineering has been evolving, and there's need for us to understand the new technologies, what is happening, what should we be doing. So understanding the new technology is very, very important, and I believe it has become a very major issue for discussion, even for those of us who have been practicing. The technologies that have emanated, we know, have changed the way we do things, have changed nations, economies have been highly affected. We know that social economic realities have been altered by the new technologies that have been coming in. Cultural and political situations have also been altered. Institutional perspective has also been altered, and changes are occurring every day. Traditional technical skills have also changed. Just like the past president of current said, we need to now start developing new skills for what we have to do. And I believe this is why we have this discussion. And so for me, engineering as a profession, which we all know entails training over a period of time. You come out from university, engineering graduate, you do your certification exam, you become a registered engineer. So it is a process. That is why it is a profession. It's not just something you pick out and you say you're an engineer. So, and it has evolved over time. And just like in your anthem, you say mechanical engineering is the mother of all engineering. Yes, it is, because when the first revolution came out, it was the use of water and steam engines and everything, and it was referred to as the mechanization age. It was referred to as the mechanization age. And then we came into the second industrial revolution, or sometimes they put industry 2.0. This brought about the production of steel. I'm particular about it because I'm a metallurgical engineer. And so it brought about the production of steel. And then, of course, electricity came into being. There was the expansion of the railroads, and this all came into being. And this second revolution, we all know, was now called the electrical or electricity age. So no wonder people say, I always used to fight this as a mechanical engineer and say, oh, mechanical engineering is the mother of all engineers. Then electrical engineers come and say, oh, they are the ones, they think they did better than mechanical. But this has been the trend of our revolution. And then we had the third industrial revolution, which brought about communication, improved communication. We've now started using computers, ICT came into being, and we could now see that this was now called the computer age. That was what we call the computer age. And we thought, oh, this is good. We have actually come of age to do things in a different manner. And we know this led us now to the fourth revolution, which is sometimes referred to as Industry 4.0 or 4IR. This is where we are, even though some people say now we're already moving on to the fifth revolution. This is the age of digitalization. And that is why you're having this discussion. What has this done to engineering? The fourth revolution has brought about the current era of connectivity. Your chairman said now that we're having people joining us from Birmingham. We have people from Canada joining us. So this is what the fourth revolution has brought to us. There is now advanced knowledge. I can get enough knowledge by going on to the web and I know what I want to do. Manufacturing has advanced. Everything has changed. The economic, social, business, engineering landscape have all changed. And that is where we are, the digital world. And as engineers, we must move with it. It has brought about a lot of technologies. I didn't graduate in the digital or computer age. I would look at it as maybe we graduated just a little bit when we were entering the computer age, but it wasn't even that exposed yet. Because I remember in my school, we had the big frame computers and you still have to be doing Fortran and all those things. But that is not where we are right now. Things have changed. The digital world cannot be explained to be availability of useful digital tools that can enhance engineering practice. We can change our language, the way we speak, we can change our communication skills, we can change how we do things. Why? Because of the age we are in. These have impacted greatly on engineering. The way we live, the way we talk, the way we shop, even the way we eat, everything is changing. People cannot buy food, high connectivity, you buy food, you order food and it comes to your house. The world is moving. But while it is moving, a lot of issues and challenges have been thrown up. And these issues have disrupted traditional engineering practice. And so what do we do about it? Some of these tools that are there that we now know that we need to learn about them. Computer-aided designs, simulation software, computer-aided manufacturing, Internet of Things, which is what everybody is talking about, artificial intelligence, robotics. I even read last week that First Bank of Nigeria has brought robots now to do the welcoming in the bank, open your account for you, do all the initial banking, simple banking systems for you. The world is changing. Blockchain technology. Somebody entered my office, we're talking about climate change and how we can sell carbon from our power plant. And it tells me we have done a research and we are going to be using blockchain technology so that the system of trading will be transparent and we can see everything going on in the carbon credit market. So a lot of things are changing. And all these issues have impacted on the engineering value chain. And we all know what these value chains are: design and engineering, manufacturing, production, supply chain management, maintenance, distribution, and logistics. So we could count all these. And so in what way are they impacted on the value chain? As engineers, we must look at this. First and foremost, design and engineering. We have the CAD system now, where if you are not trained in it, you can't do your design. And what has this done for design? It has changed precision in design. It has also helped collaboration. I can be doing my design in Nigeria. I can collaborate with somebody in any part of the world to be able to perfect and get a good design. So it has also brought about greater collaboration. Boundaries, geographical boundaries are no more barriers to us doing whatever we want to do. We have overpassed geographical boundaries, and CAD also has erased errors, lesser errors, and of course, faster output. And also for manufacturing and design, the manufacturing aided design has also brought about automation in manufacturing processes. We now have the 3D printing, additive manufacturing, and it has also helped for us to be able to get better products for ourselves. So supply chain management, Internet of Things, of course, now we can do real-time management, we can see what is happening, and then be able to report as it happens. So a lot of these digital devices and this digital apps have brought a lot of input to engineering, and we must all be ready to go with it. We must be ready to work with it. The fourth industrial revolution where we are right now, I can say is the one that has most disrupted traditional engineering practice. There is therefore the need for us to look back at education, and that is why I'm happy that NIMECI also is looking at education. And again, we must thank Koren for what they've been doing, that we are moving out from the traditional engineering education to a more digitalized education, to a more soft skill determined education that will position students for the industry. But we want to say, even though Koren is doing that, engineers, faculties all still need to come together to rethink and reinvent our profession. We still have a lot to do. How do we develop a more integral engineering education that can help to predict some of these disruptions that we might even get in the future revolution that is about to explode? Are we ready? Is engineering prepared to build students who are going to be the future for the world? Therefore, engineering education is one area that we must invest in. We know right now in Nigeria, investment in engineering is very, very poor. We can still go around most of the schools and see what we have there. Most of them do not have the basic libraries that students can go into and be able to get enough information and even be able to collaborate with other schools in different parts of the world. So we need to invest in education. We need a lot of work to be done. We also need to have a decisive and an agile approach to regulation. Thanks to Koren for what they are doing, but a lot still needs to be done. Greater collaborations in engineering education still needs to come in. Different ways of preparing our engineers, because with the use of robotics and all right now, it is not only general principles of engineering that we need. Industries are going to be looking out for people who have talents that robots cannot perform. That is the age we are going into. And so we must prepare ourselves for it. The digital world has exposed a lot of talent and skill gaps. So there is need for us to really, really build on our soft skills. New technical and new non-technical jobs are coming up. We must be able to see that our engineers do not lose their jobs, because this is what is going to happen. So we must reskill, we must retool for us to not lose our jobs. We must be able to bring in in-house training that will foster culture and continuous learning. It's not just learning today. Thanks again to NIMECI, and I know a lot of divisions of NSC are doing this. Triple M, I know, is also doing quite a lot. That's my division, and they are doing quite a lot in recent times in educating people on what is happening, what we need to do. I will encourage us to continue. While we are doing this for the young engineers, we should also remember the engineers in practice. Some people are laid back, they don't want to learn, but we want to be able to keep our engineers in focus. The digital world has brought a new style of leadership, whether you like it or not. Obsolete ways of doing things are phasing out. So we must also learn the new ways of doing things. Your leadership must rethink, must refocus. The program, you won't say these are our traditional programs, we have to continue. No, leadership also, work culture has also changed. There's greater opportunities for collaboration and communication. We can, as I'm speaking to you, somebody can be communicating with me from another part of the world or a part of Nigeria. This is what digitalization has brought to us. We can access, like I said, a vast pool of knowledge. Access to remote working and meetings is ongoing. We know that we did a bit well during the COVID-19 in Nigeria, but we've gone back to the old traditional ways of doing things. But I'm looking forward to the next decision be taken by a lot of people. With this new fuel issue that we have, and we're saying how are Nigerians coping, we believe that there will be new ways of allowing people to work remotely, do meetings remotely, because even Nigerian Society of Engineers as a society cannot afford, if we really must move with digitalization and change a lot of things, we cannot afford to be doing face-to-face meetings. So we also need to look at that. All engineers must prepare for it. Meetings now should be done online, remotely, and we can still achieve the same purposes that we'll achieve if we are meeting face-to-face. So which means every way we do things has to change. Our thinking has to change. And So also with your NIMEC meetings, I believe you must have gone into your virtual meetings now and less of face-to-face meetings, spending so much money that could be used even for advancement of engineering. New focus areas are being created. And so we engineers also must move with that.
We have a few more minutes, ma'am.
Yes, I'll just try to round up now. A lot of researches have been done. I've talked about loss of jobs. I've talked about refocusing in education. And I'll just go briefly to summarize that the digital age has brought quite a lot of benefits for us. And we cannot overlook that. Across the value chain, there has been a lot of benefits. While we also have issues, we have a lot of benefits. Like I said, your designs come now with better precision, less errors. We have efficiency and faster ways of delivering our projects. We have also eliminated a lot of risk. It helps to eliminate a lot of risk. That gives us greater predictability, like I said, and greater opportunities for collaboration. And when you talk of manufacturing and product output, we know that our product qualities have improved with time, and there is greater room for innovation. And so for me, I believe as engineers, just as engineering is rapidly evolving, we actually must be ready, and I must now say that this is digital engineering. We have moved away from the traditional engineering. So for us to survive in this digital age as engineers, for us to succeed in this fourth revolution, moving on to the fifth revolution, engineers must clearly define a strategy for integrating digital technologies into all our engineering processes. And we must carry everybody along. NIMEC must carry civil engineers, must carry electrical engineers, must carry everybody along. Nobody should be left. We must review and realign our engineering education. I've talked about that. I won't waste too much time. But again, while we are realigning our educational program, we also must look at government policies, because some of them are barriers to us moving to the next generation. So we also must look at policies and try to eliminate those policies that hinder us from moving to the digitalization age in our education. We must look at those education policies from NUC, from Ministry of Education, and other government policies. We must realign them to engineering and technological advancement in Nigeria. Faculties themselves must be poised for collaboration and retooling for the paradigm shift that is needed in engineering education. We must all learn to leverage on digital technology for enhanced production and manufacturing. Like I said, trainings and retraining must be there for easy adaptability to the new technology age. We also must have a robust data management system. NSC must have a robust data management system, both for practicing, so that areas of issues in Nigeria, we can easily go into this database and be able to know what we need to do, and those who can help us to do it. We need to manage our professional database to be able to achieve what we want to do. Of course, we must address all the cyber issues, the cyber security, and we must also reposition for the new norm. And lastly, I think we all know that the digitalization age has brought enhanced project performance, monitoring and optimization with the IoT for real-timing. So we must all embrace it so that at least we can, with real-time monitoring, enhance our project delivery. And I want to say thank you very much for the time. And I hope that with the discussion that will be taking place with all the different speakers, we'll be able to look more into these areas and how engineering can be repositioned for the Nigerian engineer to really move with the industrial revolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was a brilliant presentation, and it was really remarkable. You've been able to shone great light to digitalization and managing the engineering profession from industry, the academics. You know, you reached through the various generations of technological advancement, and you've thrown light into the way forward future development. We will come in when we are given when we begin to make bold moves in industry, strategizing industry, and in our roles as future leaders. Thank you very much for such attention to detail. It was really an enlightening lecture. Thank you very much, ma'am. I trust that, yeah, thank you, ma'am. I trust that we are learning moving forward, and it is important that we have father of the young engineers, the NSF, the National Student Forum, our very chairman, who has been managing the welfare of students, and his immense focus to seeing that there's been a swift attention to student activities. Let's make welcome Engineer Musbah Lawa, who would give us a brief remark as the National Student Forum Committee Chairman.
Thank you very much, the moderator. And I want to also thank everyone that is part of this program today, and also to extend the same appreciation to those that have been part of it since the inception of the program. Let me first of all quickly express the apologies or convey the apologies that I received from one of our speakers, Professor Ilori, who called me yesterday to let me know that he will not be able to participate today. In his words, he said, man proposes, God disposes. He really would have loved to be with us. He prepared all that needed to be prepared. However, the good news is that he's recuperating very well, and we wish him quick recovery. And now, I'm going to dwell briefly on what I think should be our way forward. Where do we go from here? I've heard today people that have mentioned that this is an event that should not be allowed to die a natural death. I want to appreciate the effort made by our national chairman, who initiated this program. And when we had it exactly 1 year ago, on the 6th of August 2022, it was like, wow, this could be an annual event. And therefore, it was adopted to be an annual event. And this is why it has now carried the title Annual NIMAKI Symposium and Lecture Series. Now, it has been said this morning that this should not just be something that will be forgotten. Therefore, I want to put it across to the National ESCO of NIMAKI to put everything that is needed to be put in place to ensure that it's a continuous program and will continue to improve in quality as the year progresses. And I want to see it also expand its scope. I mean, there's nothing wrong in making it to become an international event. So I'm looking forward to when it will be named XY Annual International NIMAKI Symposium Lecture Series, so that it will become something that will be had all over the world, as other institutions have developed and make available events of this nature for students and young and old engineers all over the world. This is what I think we should strive to achieve, so that we can say this is an annual international symposium and lecture series by NIMAKI. Now, my second area that I would like to talk about is to the students, young engineers, young and old, as a matter of fact. We have huge number of people that are experienced and experts in different fields of engineering and other human endeavor that are at our disposal. This is one way of making them to share with us, and indeed, they are willing and ready to share their experience and knowledge and expertise with us. Therefore, the ball is in our court to leverage on what they are willing to share on this opportunity, so that we can benefit from their experience and expertise. This is what this is all about. So I will ask young engineers, undergraduates, graduates, old people alike, to please make sure that they benefit from the knowledge and expertise of our people around the world. I want to, at this point, thank everyone for participating, and I hope that we will continue in this stead and continue to improve. I also want to quickly say that we should start to put in place a kind of database that will allow us to have record of people that have been participating and what they have presented for the benefit of people that may not be available or that are yet to get to the level of attending. This will be a lot of resource that people will be able to latch on to develop and prepare themselves for the future ahead of them. Once again, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and effort, and we hope to see you next year. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Engineer. Thank you for such attention to so many details there. I was also expecting you to invite the students again on another note to the national conference in October. Yes, thank you very much, sir. So moving forward, we are quite behind time. This stage, I would like for us to quickly welcome the next speaker, who is going to share with us insights. Who is going to share with us insights on insights on the very team that we are discussing, and it's no other person but Professor of Leadership and Enterprise from the University of Bolton. And so I would kindly give a brief on his profile. He started as a professor of leadership and enterprise in the University of Bolton. He before he joined Bolton, he has been an avid reader of leadership and chair of the staff forum of research of the University of West of Scotland, United Kingdom. Graduated with a first class in pharmacy and practiced as a pharmacist, assuming various managerial positions before moving in the field of management. He has an MBA also and was a valedictorian of the University of Aberdeen Business School, an MBA, that's the MBA class with distinction. He is a well-known, recognized scholar in the field of leadership, has worked across the globe on various research projects, has been recognized for his expert abilities in leadership and vision of regular expert media commentary on Scottish television. Furthermore, he is a very active member of several learned organizations, and he is the chair of the leadership and leadership development special interest group of the British Academy of Management. And as the chair, he fosters more dialogue in the domain of leadership and development of various leadership training exercise. I'd like for us to appreciate him. He also has a bestseller book that has been published by Macmillan. I would like for us to make welcome Professor Christian Harrison, a professor of leadership and enterprise from the University of Bolton. Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Anna. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's great to see everybody. Of course, we're seeing virtually, but it's been a while since we've had since COVID. Things have changed, so now you feel like everybody is in the same place while you're very, very far. Like already, I'm at Bolton at the moment. I'm in the UK, but it looks like we are all together. So thank you very much, Anna, for that, and also thanks to the institution as well, that's NEMEC, for inviting me to Engineer Fumi and every other person that made this possible. So it's great to be here today. And of course, I've been introduced and I'm happy for the citation. And I'm here to just provide a short intro about developing the leadership capacity. I can see that we have a range of people here. We have like over 85 people. Some are students, some are engineers. But it's great to have everybody here today. So what I would do in the next few minutes, I would talk about leadership. I was happy with the keynote speaker, Valerie, and thanks, Engineer Valerie, because what she said at the end boils down to one thing. She said leadership is important. So I can see that leadership is so important in today's world. Right from whether you look at digital leadership, any form of leadership is key. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. And that's why I'm so passionate about being here. And we will talk very quickly about it. Of course, many of you will know I'm Nigerian. Forget about my name, Christian Harrison. I'm Nigerian. I'm fully Nigerian. And it's great to always contribute in any way I can. So in the next few minutes, what I'm going to do is I will share my screen and we'll talk about it. I try to be very interactive in the way I talk. So I would also want you guys to contribute and use the chat. So feel free to interject. So I will try to do that as the way we try to do. So I will try and share my screen. Hopefully I'll be able to share my screen. Okay, let's see. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, very clear.
Yes, very well. We can see it.
Yes,
Okay,
we can see your screen,
Yes, we
sir.
can see it, sir.
Good. So
Yes, we can see your screen.
great. Thank you very much. And like Honor rightly pointed out, Christian Harrison, I'm a professor of leadership and enterprise in the Greater Manchester School, University of Bolton. I'm also the chair of the British Academy of Management. That's my email, so you can reach out to me. That's my Twitter as well, so you can follow me on Twitter, and also that's my LinkedIn profile. But today I've been given the honor to talk about what's leadership? How do you develop a leadership capacity? Or most of us here are Nigerian, and we know how important leadership is. Whether you want to be a leader in the digital space that we're looking at, whether you want to be a leader in anything you do, it's so important that you know how to develop your leadership. That's what we're looking at. So today, in the next 20, 30, 35 minutes, I would assume, the time I was given, we'll try to have this, and more importantly, how can you become that next leader? Especially within the fact that we're looking at developing your own skills in the digital world. How can you develop those skills? This is me. Of course, you've seen that I won't talk so much about myself again, but I had that picture after the pandemic. It was after I was keeping a big beard after the pandemic. I decided to cut it. And I had that picture there. But like you would have heard from Honor, I'm a pharmacist. So I'm also a professional, but I'm not like you guys. You guys are mechanical engineers. You guys create stuff. Well, I used to create drugs in that sense before I moved into academia. Of course, I'm a professor of leadership, written several books on leadership, and involved in a lot of consultancy for the government, UK Cabinet Office, and all that. I've authored very many books on leadership as well, and also on African studies. But one of the things that I really hold dear to my heart is giving back. I run an NGO on leadership that tries to support students and try to how we can raise the next generation of leaders. So I'm always in Nigeria, at least once or twice a year, trying to see how I support Nigeria going forward. But that's me in a nutshell. But what we're looking at is digital world, and like the keynote speaker, the engineer Valerie rightly pointed out, we need to be able to live in this world. We need to be able to know that the world has changed, and it even became more complex after COVID. And with digital world, there is now more increased competition. So now, the person you're competing with might be a little child in China, might be somebody else in Pakistan or somewhere. So with the invent of technology, you see that there is now increased competition. You don't need to have an office. You can be in comfort of your house to do things. So there is now more competition in the digital world. And because of that, you now need more digital skills. For a lot of you that have been talking about, there's now more emphasis on AI, artificial intelligence. Even people are even scared right now that you might lose your job. Are you in the right space? Do we still need mechanical engineers? So there's a lot of conversation about the need for digital skills. We need to understand the digital landscape. And of course, with the digital world, it's not just darkness really or challenges. There is now more focus on innovation. You need to be creative. All this comes with the digital world. it has become very important. But the common denominator for this is effective leadership. In order for you to be the next great mechanical engineer, for many of you are already, or those that want to become mechanical engineers, you need to understand what leadership is. You need to be a great leader. You need to understand what effective leadership is. And that is why we're looking at developing your leadership capacity. So, what do we know about leadership? The truth is, leadership is a characteristic of all organized human groups. It's so important. You will see that leadership is not just inclined to just you guys here. Even in the animal kingdom, there is a leader. Who is the leader of the animal kingdom? Anybody? Who leads the animal kingdom? You can put it on the chart. You can just speak out. Who leads the animal kingdom? Who is the leader of the animal kingdom? Anybody?
The lion.
The lion.
The lion is the leader of the animal kingdom. I hope it's not because of the Lion King. A lot of you have watched a lot of Disney movies and they'll kick off the Lion King. Of course, a lot of people believe that the lion is the leader of the animal kingdom. And it is true because of the lion is the leader of the animal kingdom because the lion is the animal that can adapt during the times of change. It's not the strongest animal, but there are stronger animals. But because the lion is able to adapt and survive, that is why the lion is the king of the jungle. And it still goes back to what leadership is. You need leaders that can be agile. You need leaders that can adapt to crisis. You need leaders that can lead during the digital world because things are changing. And that's what leadership is all about. Beyond the animal kingdom, of course, in human groups, you also have leaders. In the military, there is a leader. Who is the head of the military? Anybody? Who leads the military?
Chief of Defense Staff.
Chief of Defense Staff. Okay. Any other answer?
The general.
The general. Okay. If I ask people in the
Chief
UK,
of the Army Staff.
Chief of the Army Staff. Good. Some people in the UK will say the king or the late queen. Who will say the prime minister? But either way, the leader of the military, most of the time, could be the general. But in the military, there's always a leader. In religion, there are leaders. The Christians will say Jesus, the pastor. The Muslims might say the man or Muhammad. It depends. You always have leaders. In nations, countries, and states, you have a leader. Who is the leader of Nigeria?
President Tinubu.
President Tinubu, Bola Tinubu.
President Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Exactly. So, of course, no matter whether you are following Peter Obi or whether you're following anybody, the president of Nigeria at the moment is Bola Tinubu or President Bola Tinubu. So you see that in countries you have leaders. There's a president. In education, you have leaders. In my university, the vice chancellor is the leader. In businesses, you have leaders, the CEO or the COO. So you can see that in every field of life, leadership is key. In where you work, there is a leader. And that is why I always say that the idea of leadership is so important. But although, like I said 5 years ago, although it's the most observed, yet it's the least understood phenomenon on earth. We talk about it. We see it everywhere. You Google leadership and a lot of words come out. How to be a great leader. What are the successful ways of being a leader? People talk about leadership in different ways, but still, we don't understand what it is. It's just a collection of dependable empirical nuggets. So, what I want you to do today with this lecture, I want you to think. Some of you, or many of you are engineers already, looking at your great jobs. You're looking at the big jobs you want to do. Some of you are aspiring mechanical engineers. So it's great that this lecture series incorporates both of them. But I want you just think about it. Imagine you're asked, who do you think, name someone you regard to be a great leader. Who would you name? If you're asked, one person as a name leader, who will you name? So what you need to do is put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You don't need to put it in the chat. Then I want two people, okay, just two people to give me an example, but other people put in the chat. So who wants to say that? I think somebody spoke out. Somebody said, I got one example. Somebody said something. Who will you regard as a great leader? You're asked to name just one person.
Martin Luther King.
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi. Okay, why Peter Obi? Why Peter?
He changed the landscape of politics.
He changed the landscape.
You are correct.
He changed the landscape of politics. How?
I mean, the way he came up is not the way others. The way he came up all of a sudden and made impact is different from how others have been making impact, sir.
Okay.
The way he came into the scene and made impact is different from others who just came in. The few.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. A lot of people mentioned Peter Obi. Of course, Peter Obi changed the landscape. A lot of people felt, okay, it was going to be an easy ride for Bola Tinubu, and things changed. I see some people are drawing on the screen. Omar.
Hello. I think someone. That must be a mistake from someone somewhere. I think we'll retract the co-hosting rights from a number of persons. Yeah?
Because people are just drawing on the screen and
I think we have someone joining the.
Yes, been removed already.
I suggest that anybody who hasn't named themselves properly should be taken out. That's just it, please.
Yeah, because I can see a lot of things that are not ideal.
This is really bad.
It's not appropriate.
I think you should
It's
end
not
and share your screen
advisable
again.
at all. It's not encouraging.
End and share your screen again, sir.
Okay. I think it's ideal for you to let us know, because sometimes people join events like this, right, when it is a free event, and they just come in and they're disrupting it. And we should try to, I think one person said it already, if the person is not here, please, it's not appropriate to be doing all that.
Yeah,
I think
everybody should put their real name.
To take their pictures off, please. Because we are seeing all kinds of pictures, people in bedrooms, people lying on the bed. Can we just away?
Okay.
Whoever refuses to take their pictures off should be taken from should be blocked from this thing.
Okay, I think those things on the screen have been removed. Okay, so going back to where we were, so I think one of us mentioned Peter Obi, and of course, he changed the landscape of politics in Nigeria, and it was good to see a three-phase election. Who else? Any other example?
Benjamin Franklin.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Why Jesus Christ?
His work on behalf of humanity was selfless.
Yeah, of course. Jesus is a very good example of a servant leader. Of course, for the Christians, of a lot of Christians, they know the impact Jesus had on the world. Beyond that, you can see that Jesus led by example. He washed the disciples' feet. There's a leadership theory that, of course, that reflects much more about being a servant leader. And Jesus Christ, of course, is a very, very good example of that. So there are different examples of people that you would call leaders.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King, I have a dream. Very good example of leadership. So you can see, so there are many examples of a great leader. But for you and for many of you, how many of you know these people on this screen here? The lady there. How many of you know the lady on that screen? Anybody?
I know her.
What's her name?
Margaret Thatcher.
No, that's not Margaret Thatcher. That's Sarah Guppy. Sarah Guppy. Sarah Guppy is a mechanical engineer, and she was one of those people that produced one of the first bridges. So she's an inventor, and you can see that she's close to one of those bridges there, a train bridge. She was able to produce that. That was, I think she was born in the 70s, or in the that's in the 17th or 18th century. So of course she's dead now. The second person there, do you know the second person in the middle? Nobody.
That's Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, exactly. What did Thomas Edison do? What's Thomas Edison known for?
He was a serial inventor.
Serial inventor, but he's known for what's the thing that many people know him for? Bob, isn't it? Then the last one is Bob. The last one is, who is that person there, the last guy? Anybody that knows him?
That's
looks like
Charles Babbage. You guys are good. That's great. Charles Babbage. So you can see that, of course, Charles Babbage with the computers. So you can see that these are leaders in the domain. These are mechanical engineers. These are the kind of examples that people tend to give when, if they are engineers. But it goes beyond this. We want you to be experts in your field, but we also have these leaders that people tend to give as well. Your Nigerians. Who is that guy there? The Nigerian person there? Who is he? The first one?
Yes, it's Aliko Dangote.
Exactly, and Dangote, of course, is the richest man in Africa. Okay. The next person is, who is the next person to Aliko? There?
That's Kennedy.
The US,
Kennedy, former US president. Who knows the quote? There's a particular quote by Kennedy. Who knows the quote by Kennedy? There's a particular quote by Kennedy that is very popular. Anybody that knows the quote?
Think what you can do for
think of what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you.
Don't think of what think of what you can do for your country, and not what your country can do for you. So don't think of what your country can do for you. Think about what you can do for your country. So don't think about what America can do for you. Think about what you can do for America. So he was trying to show that you can transfer leadership. That leadership is not about one person, but it is distributed. We have, of course, on the screen, you also have Elon Musk. Many of you know him, the owner of Twitter. And you have the likes of late Steve Jobs. There are so many examples. I think one of you mentioned Obama. We have examples of people here, Margaret Thatcher, Richard Branson, Nelson Mandela, even Hitler. These are typical examples of the kind of leaders that we tend to have. But what I really want you to do, I want you to think about, if I'm talking about great leaders, and you've mentioned it, what does leadership mean? I want you to reflect. What does leadership really mean? We're talking about developing leadership. What does it really mean to be a leader? What does leadership mean to you? So I want you, in that same chart, I want you to just write your own definition of leadership. Some of you mentioned Peter Obi, some of you mentioned Jesus Christ, Obama. What does it mean to be a leader? What does leadership mean? I know I have little time, and of course, based on interruptions and all that, but so what does leadership really mean? What does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean? So in the charts, and somebody is writing again on the screen. So in the charts, what does it mean to be a leader? And
Engineer, can we remove the annotation rights or something so people cannot annotate on the screen?
Yeah. So I'm not saying you should write on the screen. I'm saying you should put it in the chat. A leader is someone that is ready to serve. Good. That was somebody wrote there. So what does it mean? A leader is someone who is ready to serve. Okay. Any other definition? Any other one? Okay. Let's see. As a person in a position of leading people effectively. Good. Okay. Let's see other one. Leadership that brings to influence and change people see. Great. There are so many ways that leadership has been defined that we cannot go all of them. That's great definitions. Hopefully, I will. Okay. Okay, somebody's talking. Please, can you mute yourself?
Engineer Sam, mute yourself.
So there are different ways that I'm happy with the definitions that have been provided. There's so many nice definitions, great. I can see so many of them, so it's great that people are defining it. And there are so many definitions, and one of the definitions I always like is the one by Peter Drucker, that a leader is someone who has followers. It's so important that you can't lead the sky, you lead people. So if you don't have followers, you're not a leader. So I totally get it. There are some by Nordhaus, the presence of whereby an individual influences a group of people to achieve a common goal. But either way, one common denominator is influence. I say leadership is about influencing people. If you want to be a great leader, then you need to know how to influence others. If you want to be somebody that is going to change your world, especially within the digital world, then you need to understand influence. You need to influence people so that they would do things that they will not naturally do. If it's about serving people, then influence becomes very, very key. So what skills do effective leaders have? That's it. And that's what we're trying to talk about, we're trying to do today. How can you develop your leadership? What skills do effective leaders have? Anybody? What are the skills you think effective leaders should have? Before I go through the skills with you. What are the skills you think effective leaders should have? You can put it on the chat, not on the screen. You can talk out. What communication skills? One of them. Communication skills, great. Any other skill? Communication skills. Leaders should be able to communicate. What else? What else should leaders be?
I've been a good follower before.
Leaders should be, wow, leaders should also be good follower. You can't know how to lead if you don't know how to follow. Great. Great, Engineer Michael.
Critical thinking. Trustworthy.
Okay.
Good leader must be visionary.
Visionary. I had visionary. I had critical thinking. Great. What else? One more.
Patience and trustworthy.
Patient and trustworthy. Wow.
A good leader should have listening skills and should be problem solver.
A good leader should be able to listen and should also be able to solve problems. Wow, great, well done. I can see a lot in the chat as well. But these are the skills, many of these skills are good listener, human management skills, should be humble, vision, communication. These are important skills. 5 years ago, I came up with the taxonomy as well. And for me, I strongly believe that these are the skills. Of course, there could be more, especially within the digital world or digital space, but there are 5 core skills that leaders should have. First is interpersonal skills. Leaders should be able to relate with people. You should be empathetic. You should be compassionate. You should be caring. If you're going to be able to get people to serve you, then you should be able to understand where people are coming from. During the times of, I know there's a lot of things happening in Nigeria, the cost of living crisis and all that, even for many people, is not the same at the moment. You need leaders that care. Empathy and compassion is very key. Communication and listening is important. You need to be able to communicate and listen. You all said it. It's not only about just talking. You need to listen to what people are saying. Active listening is key. Then you have a leader that you know that the person listens to you, then it's going to be great. For many of you, you might your mom or your dad or your spouse, and you surprise them with something like, wow, how come you know I wanted that dress? Because you are listening. So at the end, listening is very key. As a leader, you should be able to listen. Leaders should be able to motivate people. You need to be able to motivate, because if leadership is about influence, like I earlier said, then motivating people is important. You have to get people to do things. And motivation is not just about just saying it. You need to be a great role model. Many people don't, they just say, do what I say, don't do what I do. No, you should role model it. You should walk the talk. Leaders should be able to walk the talk. If you're telling your employees, come by 9 o'clock, then you should be the one to come before 9. If you tell people wear this, then you should wear the same. You need to lead by example. Team building is very key in leadership. You need to build a team. At the end, it's not about me, but it's about we. As a leader, you need to have a successful team around you. And it's so important, because leadership is not only about one person, it's about having followers. Being able to manage people is important. At the end, if you want to build a team, you should be able to manage people. Get people to do things, develop your staff, get them, support them. For all of us that are engineers that are here, support them, managing people. What do they really need? How can I really help and support him? So that is important. Then finally, self-management. You can't lead if you don't understand yourself. The same way you cannot be a great leader if you're not a great follower. You need to be able to understand yourself. What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? What can I do to make myself better? What am I good at? So these are very important skills. The next is the technical skills. And that's why you're all engineers. And some of you are going to be engineers. So you have the technical expertise. If you're going to be able to be a leader, especially in your workplace, most of the time you need to know your stuff. You need to know about engineering. Look at the examples I gave initially. The likes of Charles Babbage, the likes of Thomas Edison, they understood. They became great leaders in the space because they understood it. And that's why you all studied engineering. And that's why you're in this institution as well, because you have the technical expertise. Business skills are very important, especially in today's world. You need to understand your organization. You need to know how to do accounting, to manage people, to HR. Administration is very key. So business skills are important. Conceptual skills falls into what many of you were talking about. You need to be analytical. I know one of the things about engineers is that they are very good with numbers, isn't it? You guys are good at, you're very objective. You know how to do stuff. You're quite good at analyzing and gathering data. And that is a very important skill in leadership. You need to be able to get all the information and make decisions. Generating ideas is great. See the examples that we have given. Most of the time, leaders are the ones that are able to generate ideas. Even if you can't generate it, at least get people to help them generate for you. So you need to generate ideas. What are those kind of things that we can do? How can we change the world? It's a digital world. It's a digital age. It's about generating ideas. And that's why digital leadership is very important. Problem solving, some of you mentioned it. At the end, people would follow you if you can solve their problem. If you can't solve their problem, they will not follow you. The day we get a cure for cancer, you see that things will change. If you can get, and that's the only way you can be, you can really be very impactful. And leaders should provide solutions to people's problems. People would respect you. You would influence people if you can solve their problems.